Hello everyone, welcome to Fijian Investment Trader, known as Fijian Traders. This is your host, Mr. Singh. Nvda, ticker symbol NVDA. What a week! Absolutely stunning week with the lows of $764 all the way high of $883, and we closed at $877 on Friday. Great news. We broke some key levels. We're going to talk about it as our support and resistance. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We have our news to cover, earnings coming up, about my portfolio. Yes, I loaded back my shares again on Nvidia. I'm always a long-term investor for Nvidia. But time and time when it comes to a dip like that, I wanted to make sure I lock my profit, and where I got at a discounted price, definitely don't want to miss on Nvidia. So where with Nvidia? Let's talk about it, folks. So Nvidia earnings coming up on May 2022. So that is just around the corner, less than a month away, and we have a roller coaster week coming in. Weeks coming in means of we gotta keep an eye on last year's NBS. So last year we were on positive of $0.09. And the consensus was $5.56. We destroy it. Looks like the earnings coming up with all these new contracts with Nvidia coming in, and also the reports of the two startup companies in Israel. It's gonna be a mind-blowing investment, mind-blowing for the earnings coming up, and the profitability margin is there because their operating cost is low. They are operating the total revenue is excellent, and their profit margin is up to the roof, and that is the great news because that brings a stability for the company because they are making a lot of profit to sustain that in terms for their growth, and that's what investors want to hear. So earnings coming up. I'm still finishing up my research on the earnings. What's going to look like? What are the trends on that? Key things to look at it. So stay tuned for the next video coming up. So please don't forget to subscribe, smash the like button, and turn on the notification so you don't miss anything. Yes, folks, as promised, 300 shares right now with Nvidia up to 10.89%. The beautiful dip happened and did mention it, and as promised, I did loaded my shares. Was opportunity to get 200 shares. I didn't get an opportunity, but I'm there yet. I will be adding another 100 to 200 shares very soon. And what the key levels, and I'm going to talk on the technical side. So stay in, don't go anywhere yet. Also invested in Mara, Neo, OCGN, Tesla, Plug Power, and Palantir. So check it out, my videos, if you're interested to look any other stocks as well. Talk about some entry points that I do, means there is a resistance and the support level, where is the loading zone. I do talk about it, and the key areas if we have a downtrend coming in. So I keep things real, the good, sad, the great, happy, everything. When we see a pattern of a downtrend, when to get out, so that way you don't miss it. All these videos is for my long-term purpose. I'd love to see Nvidia sitting over $1,000 so I can kind of breathe a little bit easy and keep it for the long term. That is my goal for Nvidia as well. So this is my portfolio. Plan to add more shares later. So another news came out. The Nvidia acquired two Israel startups, AL startups. The chip giant Nvidia plans to acquire two Israeli-based artificial intelligence startups, most likely to help Nvidia simplify enterprise of AI development and reduce cost and strengthen its offering and competitive market in AI space. Beautiful. Keep doing this. Will bring, it will also help other investors to do very similar what Nvidia does it, and helps us to reduce costs, right? Because if your cost is low and your profit margin is total revenue is huge, means you are going to be a net profit, net income profit, and that is what you want investors to hear, because your profit margin will be a roof all the way to the roof, to the skyrocket, and that we want to hear as investors as well. So great news coming up. So confirming one of the acquisition, Nvidia says agreed to require a running a workload management and orchestration software. Meanwhile, the information reported that Nvidia in talks for acquire another AI startup. The DC enables to develop and build and deploy AI models. The acquisition will enable Nvidia to provide enterprise customers and comprehensive solutions to manage, optimize their compute infrastructure across the various setups. Thereby, they're reducing a complexity and expense associated with AI deployments. Beautiful. Love the vision, love the thought process, and gaining and buying all this small startup company to reduce their cost as well. Great news. Also, I did cover on this video top about the significant seven, right? AL is the significant seven. The top investors are big backers on the significant seven. Jim, Simons, Ray, Israel are some of the most successful investors in history. They are the three billionaires of respective of hedge funds, technologies, and Bridgewater associations, and minimum management made thousands in investors rich along with them. So they are, in fact, investing and such as on Nvidia as well. So also, I wanted to cover this one: the 50 million purchase to 10 Nvidia, the biggest investment. Nvidia isn't just a deploying key of hardware fueling AI. The big investor of AI companies often invest in equity investment in its business relationship. In December, the portfolio surpassed of 100 million the threshold, requiring a file of 113F SE to disclose all of its handling. Nvidia's portfolio isn't very abroad, containing 5 stocks and 95% of consent in just in 2 holdings. Nvidia's biggest piece of is AR holding in the chip architecture company. Giant tried to purchase 40 billion in 2020 and end up grabbing up to 190 million in the current price, representing a small slice of $100 billion company. What does it mean by that? Well, we know our favorite Katie Wood, right? So Nvidia's second largest holding is a much meaningful stake in innovative company. This company is also in favor of Katie Wood's invest and bought some shares earlier this month on the company's largest share. So Nvidia investing on Katie Wood's portfolios, that is very interesting to see, to continue generating revenue, and that is always we want to hear that for Nvidia. So what are we looking on the technical side? Let's go. So this is, I'm going to shift the gear. This is the 5 days, but this is our 1 month. You can clearly see that when we highs of struggling between these two channels, 830 to 899, then we dip down, right? Because the reason of that, the interest rate was a big past 3 weeks about the interest rate cuts. Market was unstable. We had this crossover. The pink line was on top and the blue line was at the bottom, right? Anytime you see that means a downtrend is coming. We did dip all the way to 870. Then we rallied back again. We tried to break this area, but we couldn't. The pink line was which is my 200-day EMA, if you are not familiar of my chart, and we broke all the way to 756. Now we are closing gap, and then kind of created a double, some sort of a double bottom, even though we didn't came all the way to 756. Created some sort of a double bottom, and then we rallied back again and closed at 879. The good thing is that the blue line, which is the 60-day, is closing the gap on the 1 month. Still not a confirmation of uptrend, folks. Just want to keep things very clear with you guys. It's still not an uptrend, but everything is pointing towards it because the gap is closing between these two moving average. Once the blue line cross over the pink line, you'll see making another higher highs and higher lows all the way up here and moving forward on that. So there's the key levels moving on for that. So our yellow line is going to change into a blue because it's going to be our support level sitting right over here. So that is going to be our support level. Next, we keep an eye on that area. So 3 months, shifting the gear, clearly see that on the 3 months as well. We broke through, very, very interesting. We broke through our moving average. Clearly see how beautiful uptrend we are having. And then we kind of trend in sideways and then we break down. Our blue line, it is the 60-day sitting at $834. Pink, which is the 200-day, it is sitting at 851. So the gap, and we closed on Monday, a very hefty gap between those two moving average was $877, and it's sitting right comfortably up here. Look at the MACD. We are just started on the month right here. So RSI still cool off. Volume predicts price. Volume was very good coming to this area right here, which is exciting to see. And we closed up of those moving average is indicating for an uptrend, but we got to be very careful, folks. We got to be very careful. We need this crossover because once a crossover happens, then we're seeing the highs of 899 to 974 coming back again. One more time, round 3 to go see if you get destroyed because time and time, $974, time and time got rejected twice. Third time could be the charm, right? So that is that area we got to looking at, can I keep an eye and moving forward because if it doesn't, then we'll be coming back to $831 and even $756 can come back in play if it doesn't break out. Shifting the gear back again to 6 months. Clearly showing the 6 months, right? Not from here, back in December that we were rallying all the way to 393. Then we came right over here on January. We were sitting right at 473. We rallied all the way high, had the dip, made 974. Now we kind of struggling to stay on top of this area. and now we're rallying back again. Even though, why I am still a bull on this company, and that's why I loaded back again, because on the 6 months we're sitting at $841. That is the 60-day. The 200-day is sitting at 832, and means our blue line is still up. With this move coming up, can create the blue line, which is the 60-day, get a space, a breathing space between a 200-day moving average, means we have another reversal coming up. So 800, right? Mark your calendar, fasten your seatbelt, whatever you got to do. 899.49, we get a break and hold in between. We got to start trading in between these two channels to have a confirmation that is an uptrend. Everything is looking towards that. Everything is pointing towards it, but doesn't mean it's guaranteed to do that, because any negative news can come in the market. Instability can result the Nvidia coming back to 756. But the way the momentum is showing with the earnings coming up, it's gonna be looking fabulous, delicious, good, and will push the price even 974. I am very confident that earnings coming up, we will see coming very close to see 974, an area that we know the target. My target still stays the 1500. This target, and by the summer I can love to see the over 1200. But anything can happen with the interest rate of instability of the market. If the interest rate is getting cut, then you'll see a less growth on the company, and big companies like that do suffer that. But getting this AI startup in Israel is a cost reduction which companies can manage, like Nvda, and it's a great news for the development and the future for the company. So $889, we got a break this week coming up. If it drops, if you're looking at an area, $831 level, we got to keep an eye, because that is also a loading zone area. But the biggest loading zone area, it is sitting still at between $770 to $756 as a major loading zone. And that's why I'm still a bull. That's why I loaded it, because our moving average still on top on the 6 months, even though the 3 months and 2 months are just closing the gap, right? But the 6 months still stays intact for a breakout, for a reversal again. So stay tuned for the next video coming up, folks. So don't forget to subscribe, smash the like button, and turn on the notifications so you don't miss anything with Nvidia or any stock you're interested in. I like what I see with Nvidia. Growth potential, has a growth, profitability, low cost, and continuous vision for the growth. And they are doing it, firing with all cylinders right now to be successful and to stay in the significant 7 at the top 3 stock in the United States. So thank you for watching it, and hope you are having a wonderful rest of your day or the weekend whenever you're watching this video. Thank you.